Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to teamfortress.tv. I'm FrickMyNick, joined by the BILLDOZER and Looster. We're going to be casting Space Pirates vs. Ascent tonight. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing pretty well. Sorry, I'm moving my microphone closer to my face. I'm doing pretty well, Nick. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing some real good TF2, and we're going to see it on a map that we really haven't seen a whole lot of this season. We're going to be on Sunshine. Very exciting map, a lot of tight choke points, and an interesting last that can be a little difficult to get into.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to see the undefeated Ascent versus the 3-2 Space Pirates right now. Do you want to run down one of our rosters really quick?
Yeah, I'm going to run down the Ascent roster real quick. They've essentially got the same people that they had last season when they made their run into the grand finals. You're going to have Skis on Medic. You're going to have, I believe we have, is Yite on Scout this time? Or
Yeah, Yite is on Scout.
All right, we have Bot Mode on Demo Man making his return from last season after having a pretty good debut season on the class. We have Laz roaming. We have Jay on Pocket Soldier. And finally, we have that deadly scout combo of Slemnish and Yite.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, we have Shamu and Catface bringing up the scout combo for the Space Pirates. We have Rakuso and Haze being the Roamer and Pocket, respectively. Chunky on Demo Man and Sky on Medic. So, returning core of Shamu, Rakuso, and Sky back together, bringing in newcomers Haze and Chunky, along with veteran Catface to round out the roster.
Yeah, it's just a little funny to hear Catface called a veteran, but he has been around for a while. He's a good guy, and we got a lot of good players on both teams. I'm excited to see what they can come out with here.
For sure. So, as we mentioned, Sunshine is the map we are going to be seeing them play on tonight. It's kind of an interesting map. We haven't seen it for either of these teams this season. However, doing a little bit of digging, we found that Sunshine was in every single playoff series for Ascent last season, whether it was played or not, but it was the second or third map in every single one of their series for playoffs last season, and they played 4 series. So, it's not necessarily their go-to. I believe they only picked it once and then didn't ban it like the rest of the maps. I believe it was the lower bracket finals versus Meat Market, I want to say. So, I believe they picked it then, but other than that, they just never banned it, but it was the decider for 3 of their different series.
Yeah, and we do have Ascent coming into this match at 5-0, 0 losses. It's going to be a relatively stress-free match for them, regardless of the result. They are very comfortable on this map, and they don't have a whole lot to concern themselves. There's no playoff implications at this point, or even implications in terms of placement here. As we are going to go live in a second, talk myself into a corner there.
Yeah, do you want to give us a quick prediction while we're waiting for the ESEA ready ups to go by?
I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to see Ascent take it 5-1, maybe 5-2, but we're going to need to see Catface and Shamu really step up if they're going to be able to contend with Ascent.
Yeah. For the sake of Devil's Advocate, I'm going to take it, let's say 4-2 for the boys in GK and girl.
All right.
So we're going to be rolling out to this first mid. We're going to see Chunky and Bot Mode arriving at about the same time. Oh, I'm sorry, Bot Mode's a little late to mid. We're going to see a very fast rollout from Laz, going to get counter jumped by Rakuso. And Jay's going to come in, hit a nice mark on the Rakuso, and he's going to create with the first death of his mid. So with 1 down on the side of GK, we're going to see the aggression coming out of Ascent. Catface is the next to follow. Hayes should die here shortly. So with 3 down, you're going to see them trying to leave on the side of Space Pirates. Shamu's going to clean up Laz, and the choke going to get chased down by Slimness. It's just Chunky and Sky leaving through their own team shutter. Very quick mid win for Ascent.
Yeah, you saw GK manage to get that first frag. I want to mention real quick, we still have Slemnish chasing the members of GK back into their spawn. As I was saying, you saw GK manage to grab that first frag onto Laz, I believe it was, and things were going pretty well for them. But the scouts were healthy.
Oh, and Sky's gonna go down. Sky dies on the spawn to Jay. Oh, it's a huge play from Jay. Sky actually lived on the mid. But the aggression and pressure from Ascent, they were able to get Sky in the spawn door. And off the back of that, Ascent's going to be Ubering into last. They're going to be claiming the frags, just Chunky and Cat face up. And Ascent's going to play the cap. It's going to be 1-0 for Ascent.
Yeah, so just to wrap up what I was saying real quickly, scouts win you mid-fights. Roamers are relatively, usually pretty, not high-impact players. So if you can keep your scouts healthy, you can always find yourself still in the game.
Yep, so we're going to see our second mid here. Botman's a little faster than Chunky on this mid, taking a little more aggressive positioning. The scouts are going to be coming in. We're going to see a charge shot out of Haze. Not going to find anything with that. Slemnish is down really weak on this mid, actually. Going to get some heals from Skis. And we're going to see some soldier aggression on the side of Ascent. And the other team's Val. We're going to see the counter soldier aggression from Haze and Rakuso. Rakuso's going to be in and going to find Ski. Going to be the first death. He's going to go on Charlie, but he's going to find Bot Mode as well. With 2 picks off the back of Rakuso, it looks like this is going to be a mid for the Space Pirate. only losing their soldiers.
Yeah, you saw Ascent try to do something a little cheeky there, as they wanted to try and wrap around the mid to try and play in GK's alley area. But GK did a great job corralling them. They were able to keep them in the positions where they wanted to be, and then you saw Hayes get some great bomb in there.
Yep, and with Sky living on the mid and Skis being the first death, we're going to see Sky with full ad. We're going to see Space Pirates capping up on the other teams too, peeking into lobby, but looking to get their soldiers healthy before they push into last team. For Ascent, we're going to see the Yite Heavy and the Slumnish Engineers, so they're pulling out all the heavy stops for this defense.
Absolutely. I think GK just needs to go in on this right side, which it looks like they're planning to do, take the Uber in. They're getting a lot of early damage onto Jay. If they're going to be able to finish him off, that's huge, as he does get out and is able to get an arrow.
He's going to get Shamu, so Jay pulling up huge for his team, and then Rakusa's going to be the next death. They're going to find Ski on the other side of things, so it's going to be Hayes, Chunky, and Sky for the side of Space Pirates. Chunky's going to be in on the point. Sky's going to be shooting in some arrows, just looking for a position to leave. With Slummish and bot mode on last, Sky's just going to tuck tail and lead. Preserving her own life, gonna try and play off this Uber advantage with the death of Skis.
Yeah, everything about that failed push kind of started with Jay managing to get out alive, managing to get a pick. GK did everything else right. They're able to kill the sentry quickly, but it's little things like that can cost you. Not having a scout pushing in there because he decided to chase someone, that's pretty big. And eventually it was just Chunky and Sky left alone, and they weren't able to get the damage out themselves with the kind of inconsistent damage that a demo man can provide.
Especially late into the fight where they have not a lot loaded. We are going to see about a 20% advantage for the side of Sky. Slumnish had poked out on the 2 a little bit, and he went down. He's going to respawn on the heavy. Again, Yite on the engineer, so switching the off-class roles, but the off-classes are there all the same for Ascent on this defense.
Yeah, and with a small of an advantage they have, you have to wonder if they actually want to push in on this. A sentry could cause a lot of problems, easily buying enough time for Ascent to get their Uber. You may see them play the slow game they're going straight in. As they do get the sentry gun very quickly, they're able to corral Ascent over to the left side. However, they're unable to find time on the point. Chunky is just spamming towards the spawn area, but you see Slemnish on this heavy class doing heavy area denial, making it completely impossible for GK to be able to push in.
Yeah, I was going to say, they were able to find the gun pretty early in that push, but with a 20% advantage that you have to find the frags or cap the point before the other team gets their Uber, and they really weren't able to find either of those things. Botman did a really good job of denying Shamu trying to play the cap, and then they just weren't able to handle the heavy late into that fight. So we are going to see Skis with a full advantage. Sky at about 50% here. We're going to see the Shamu sniper for Space Pirates, and we're going to see Ascent trying to get in from cap face side. They're going to pop their Uber in. Rakusa's going to get the force there. He's going to opt to just go behind. And we're going to see no deaths for either team. Slemish and Co. want to get in from this choke point. They're peeking up. Slemish goes down so weak. We're going to see Lazin on the flank. He's going to get Sky. Hayes is going to punish that one, but the damage is done with Sky going down. Sen's going to be bundling up around Skis. And Rakusa's in on the flank. He's going to find the counter med pick. Getting a little bit of help from Shamu on that one. Catface is going to go down. So it's just Hayes and Chunky on the side of Space Pirates versus Slemish, Jay, and bot mode on the other side of things. Things are going to settle down a little bit. It looks like it's going to be Ascent mid here. Sky is going to spawn a little bit earlier than Skis, however, so we're going to see another Uber advantage for the Space Pirate.
Yeah, Jay is going to force the combo of GK out of this second point. You saw some sus positioning from Sky there as Ascent were pushing in. She decided to wrap around towards the forward spawns of second point instead of going back towards the shutter, and that was able to let Laz there jump in and catch her out, which ultimately caused a lot of problems for GK there in their attempt to hold that.
Yep, so we're going to see Ascent's trying to dry push off this. They are going to find the pick on a Chunky. They're going to trade out Yite for that one, though. And Skis is going to go down on the backlines. Catface got in on the flank to find that one. And Laz and Jay are so weak on the side of Ascent. With no heals, they're just going to tuck tail and lead. Slimish is going to die to Shamu in the chaos of everything. And looks like Laz should be able to make it out here. He peeked back into the other team's cafe and found Shamu. I don't think expected him to be there, but he was still able to make it out. And originally was an Uber advantage that evened out a little bit from some poor building from Sky. Is going to turn into another huge Uber advantage for Sky as Skis went down in that fight.
Yeah, it will be a big Uber advantage for Sky. However, you do see all of Ascent getting these forward spawns, which is ultimately going to let them at least attempt to try and set up a hold. Bare minimum, they're going to be able to try and force out Sky here, as she does Uber through Cafe really early. I'm wondering if Laz was hiding somewhere in that Cafe area, but they are going to be able to get this second point without too much effort.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate for the Space Pirates there, because they did have a pick on the bot mode, and makes it a lot easier to push when the other team doesn't have a demo to put up all that spam and resistance. We are going to see about a 50% advantage for Skis and Co. They're at about 80%, but they're already aggressive in this lobby, looking for anybody who's overstaying their welcome in the lobby. We're going to see Yite peeking up from the dungeon side of things, but it doesn't look like Ascent and Co. are ready to go off it quite yet. It looks like they're trying to go bats here with Slumnish and Jay. And Skis is actually a little bit delayed. He actually dropped down, and they're actually going to bait Jay. So a little bit of a mismove there from Skis is actually going to cost them Jay. They still have yet to use, but Sky's coming up on about 70%. We're going to see some soldier aggression in. Rakusa's going to bomb in, and just the bombing threat is going to be enough to force out Skis. Skis is actually still a whole 150 HP, and Catface is in on the flank, going to get Skis down to about 20 HP. He's not going to find that one, though, and Sky and Co are back in with their Uber already. They are down 2 players, and they are going to lose Haze, so they are only 3 up on the side of Space Pirates, but they do have an Uber charge. Ascent is in a position to get caught here. Space Pirates can get anything with their Uber, but it doesn't look like they're going to find much. And actually, Jay and Laz are going to get the cap on that one. They're going to find a couple frags, but Chunky and Sky are going to go down. And Shimu's going to die shortly. Rakuso off the respawn is going to get in here, but I don't think he should find much. He's just going to go down to Slumnish here.
Yeah, the big decider in that fight was Ascent being really confident in their DM. You saw Slumnish come in from the lower area and win a 1v1 versus, I believe it was Rakuso. And him being able to take that fight, it was allowed him to push back into the rest of GK, and that he was able to corral them forward into the shutter while Ascent pushed back out. It caused a lot of problems for him, and it was able to trap them right in the staircase by that dungeon area, and they were unable to, properly get out of there without trying to use that Uber that they had built.
Yep, so we're going to see another advantage push for Ascent here at the late pick on Sky. We do see the Shamu spy, and Shamu's actually going to get, he's going to get a buff, he's going to get a drop on the Ski. Oh no, that's so bad from Ski. The buff paying dividends for him there as he was able to live long enough to pistol him down. So with the Uber on the floor for the side of Ascent, we're going to see the Space Pirates actually are opting just to wait for the Uber, not trying to go off just the raw heal advantage. They're going to opt to wait the last 10 seconds here and get their Uber. Sky's at about 99% now. Skis has spawned, so they are going to get buffs on mid, but the Space Pirates have a full Uber advantage here.
Yeah, and this is all going to come down to the soldier play of Ascent if they're able to try and get a smart bomb here onto Sky as they're trying to push out from this valley area. Soldier bombs getting onto Sky to try and force this Uber out early before they can use it on their own terms are going to be what's important, as Laz goes up now and is able to actually drop Sky.
Oh, that's huge from the flank of Ascent. Yite and Laz coming up big there. I didn't quite see the bomb from Laz, but with the counter drop coming out from Sky, it looks like Ascent is trying to go. Even though there are 2 players down, they are going to get the spawn of Yite here in a second, and Laz is not too far behind. But it looks like Ascent is just sitting in Cafe. If they delay here too long and Space Pirates recognize that, they could actually get maybe pinched in from Choke, but they're just hanging out right now, waiting for this Uber. They're coming up on 90%. They're waiting for their spawns and their Uber, I think. I think they're waiting for all the stops rather than just waiting, trying to go off the heal advantage. It looks like they're going to rotate around. They're going to be going from the valley side here. So we're going to see the counter push in. We're going to see the high bomb from Rakuso. He's going to commit. Going to find some good damage on the bot mode. Slumnish and Rakuso are going to trade here, but it looks like Skis is not going to have to use his Uber. Sky's at about 50% right now, so they're about 20 seconds away from having a counter Uber here, and it looks like bot mode's ready to go through this choke point, but Ascent is actually stacking the point here. They're looking to try and deny Rakuso before continuing to go.
Yeah, and you're going to want to see GK try and whip it out and display their confidence in the same way that Ascent has. You need to see their soldiers making some big skybox bombs, drawing attention away as you actually see Rakuso maybe seeing what he can find as he makes a similar bomb. You need to distract the other team that your scouts can try and do some work. And they're going to need to see if they can force this Uber out before Ascent is able to use it on their terms and get a little comfortable here.
Yeah, so it looks like Ascent didn't opt to push off the Uber advantage. They hit a bit of an advantage after they capped up on mid. So Laz went for a sack, and Slumnish is spawned up on the sniper rifle. We do see Rakusa coming up on the spy, so off classes for both teams, but I don't think either team, I believe Space Pirates knows about the sniper, but I don't think Ascent knows about the spy. So we'll see if they can be 2 for 2 for the spy plays here on the side of Space Pirates, and we'll see if Ascent can find anything with the Slumnish sniper.
Yeah, I am excited to see this aggressive spy plays coming out of GK. Sniper plays are sniper plays. That's we see them plenty, but seeing spies playing this aggressively is such a nice thing to see, as Rakuso is found out and killed by Yite. So maybe it didn't work out this time, but spy is certainly a lot more high risk of a pick class compared to sniper.
Yeah, it does cost you your life to try and go for anything, and we're going to see a little bit of aggression in the valley side of things, and we're actually going to see Chunky going down to Jay. And Slumber's gonna
Ooh.
find the pick on. Oh, everybody going down the side of Space Pirates here. Both their scouts and their demo are down, and Laz is actually gonna get in and get a force on the Sky in the lobby area. Sky just flashing the Uber on and off, baiting some rockets out of the soldier from Ascent, but the damage is done. With Skis having a full advantage, they're gonna be rolling into Laz, and they're only 2 up on the side of Space Pirates. They're gonna get their scout spawns right about now, and their demo spawns, so they could hold this potentially if they could kite this Uber, but you know, Ascent's already in on the last. They're already to the point. They're gonna find Rakuso. Bot mode's gonna go down super weak, but the cap is already there, and Ascent's gonna take their second round this match.
Yeah, bot mode did a great job of putting sticks on those points, specifically putting into that little ledge area where it's easy to jump onto the point. He was able to protect his scouts really well, and you cap out the point from there.
Yep, so we're up 2-0. We've had a trade of mids here. So we're going to see our third mid. We're going to see both their demos playing really passively around their chokes. We're going to see a really fast bump out of Laz, going to get a good damage into Rakuso and Chunky, but neither of them are going to go down on the side of Space Pirates. And with one down on the side of Ascent, they're going to be hard pressed to fight this mid 5v6. Jay's going to fit a pick onto Hayes, but he's going to go down shortly to Shamu and Rakuso, claiming that one. So 2 down on the side of Ascent, and 5 up on the side of Space Pirates. We are going to see them try and hold. It looks like Space Pirates wants to try and go through this choke. They're going to get a really high soldier bomb, making some space for their team while trying to prod in from the choke, but they're all so weak on the side of Space Pirates. Rakuso's going to go down. Chunky's not particularly healthy, along with Catface and Shamu, so they're going to lose Chunky here, and with neither team having an Uber and 2 down on the side of Space Pirates, it looks like they're going to come back to mid, try and hold.
Yeah, those that mid fight and the fight that came after it on second point was mostly positioning, as the damage is relatively minor. You just saw players being pushed around into places that they didn't want to go. As we are going to have the Uber coming out of Space Pirates here, as they want to try and push in with Hayes and see if they can get this pick onto Skis. Skis actually going down to about 15 health, not popping the Uber. If he can stay alive here without trying to pop it here, he's going to engineer himself a huge advantage to push into second and possibly even last.
Yeah, and he manages to hold there. Really, really good play. Oh, but the scout's going to be in. Oh, Catface not able to find that force. Really good movement from Skis there. He's down to about 60 health after the regen. It was really good good movement for him to be able to avoid Catface late into that fight. And so we're going to see the full Uber ad for the side of Ascent. Sky's at about 50%. They've been doing a pretty good job about building. They're just going to be trying to prod in from the cafe side of things. Jay's going to jump in, make some space, and while the rest of Ascent tries to get in, we're going to see the soldier bomb in from Valley, and it doesn't look like there's going to be much of a defense on the side of Space Pirates here on there too.
No, Space Pirates just need to back up. They need to see if there's some kind of defenses with a heavy maybe that they can set up. We see actually Rakuso trying to build a sentry. I don't know if he's going to have time to be able to be comfortably, as Ascent are already pushing in. They've used their Uber and they're actually now backing out as Space Pirates manage to get their Uber out, and they're managing to corral Ascent into this right area, this door here, as we see Rakuso picking off Yite and Slendish going very low, and that's going to stall out Ascent's push pretty easily.
Yeah, Ascent tried to roll their push into last, but Sky was able to get up on the Uber, so they had a bit of an exchange on the point, but with 3 down on the side of Ascent, they have 1 spawner now, and only 2 down on the side of Space Pirates with their spawns coming up. They are just going to opt to back out and try and hold 2, and they're going to lose Slumdish here, so Space Pirates have some room. We're going to see Shamu's going to get in on the combo really deep, going to get Skis down to about 50 HP, and tons of damage for everybody on the side of Space Pirates, doing so much damage to Ascent. They're going to lose Jay, but both the soldiers are going to go down for Space Pirates, so if they can convert another frag, this could be good for them, but they're going to lose Chunky to Yite in the choke point, and Shamu's down to about 12 HP, going to meet up with Sky to get some heals, but losing out the DM fight on 2 is Space Pirates, so they are going to see them back to their last, and Ascent has been building a little bit better than them. They have about a 10% advantage, so this might come into play if they try and roll this into last, but this guy's at about 99%. It's not going to end up mattering. We're going to see the soldier aggression into last. Last is going to find a pick onto Catface. Hayes is going to trade that one out, but with 1 down on both teams, we should see things kind of settle down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I want to highlight real quick, I'm trying to be careful. It looks like Ascent may want to see if they can actually push in here. They do have 2 picks on the Space Pirates, and Laz is just now coming up as we actually see Yite trying to maybe sneak some time onto the point. He goes down. Slendish doing the same thing. The point is nearly capped, about 90% of the way capped. Ascent pops their Uber, Space Pirates pops their Uber, and we see both of them making a trade right now as Ascent is starting to back out, looking to re-engage against Space Pirates, but you see Chunky trying his best to hold down that right door. As he goes down, Sky goes down, and you're going to see Ascent cap out this 3rd point.
Yep, so we're going to see a 3-0 half for the side of Ascent. Just really good coordinated play from them on that last slash push there. They baited the cap really well. They punished this positioning of Space Pirates being so passive, looking to try and avoid getting forced or getting a poor end of the exchange. So they just bait the cap and force Space Pirates to come forward and come into a bad position where they were able to punish them from the high ground. So we're going to see the 3-0 half for Ascent. Who's stepping up for Ascent here, and who needs to step it up on the side of Space Pirates?
I think that I don't want to say that either of Ascent scouts are bad, but with how much praise Slemnish gets, I don't think that Yite gets the amount of praise that he should get. He's been performing really well this match. He's been doing a great job of locking down those flanks and keeping Space Pirates from being able to get in comfortably. And I just want to highlight that.
Yeah, I think on the side of Space Pirates, I think they're doing a really good job of matching the soldier aggression. It's just that once the DM fights devolve, I think Ascent is just a lot better about playing together. Like specifically when they lose combo classes, Ascent's flank does a really good job of coming back to heals and kind of filling in and playing as like a new combo. Whereas I feel like on the side of Space Pirates, they kind of dilly-dally about getting back to their heals, and they kind of end up getting picked off one by one. And so that's happened. Yeah.
I know I was just talking about Slemnish getting more attention than Yite and how like he doesn't get as much recognition. I just want to say Slemnish has 21 frags and 350 DPM. So I just want to highlight how much he's pounding too, because it's pretty incredible compared to what the rest of the server's doing.
I was gonna say it's not like he's having that stellar of like a points game. He's at 43 points. He's got 10 more than anybody else on the side of Space Pirates, but Yai is right there behind him at 40 points. But I did notice he had 3 dominations, so I think Slemnish is kind of being the difference maker here versus the scouts on Space Pirates.
Yeah, I was just kind of talking about Yite before I saw the actual stats, and I saw that Slemnish had those kind of numbers he was putting up. So I just wanted to make sure that got highlighted too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the transitions for Ascent have been a lot cleaner, and I think that's probably large part into to Slemnish doing so much work inside of the transitions and just getting 185 and just plowing a train on anybody who wants to put up any resistance on the side of Space Pirates.
Yeah. Ascent's a lot cleaner in the way that they hold and in the way that they're able to push back out. I've been using the word corralling a lot this game, and it's what it does come down to. You see Ascent playing the footsies game beautifully, and this kind of neutral game where they both have 100% Uber, and where you try and push in aggressively and you're able to win off of positioning alone is something that's really important for a team, especially a team that's looking to make another run at grand finals.
Yeah, and I think it's important that Space Pirates tries to address these issues because as a team that is gunning to make playoffs, this is a definitely a team they need to be getting not 5-0'd by. They need to be showing, we can hang with the top, and I think getting 5-0'd would really be a big boon to their confidence, especially at the halfway point in the season when I feel like they had a decently strong start, but I feel like especially after a 5-0 from Ford, who is likely going to be one of the other playoff teams, another 5-0 to Ascent I think would be hard to come back from. So we're going to be going live in our second half here.
Absolutely, and I'd like to see what Laz does on this mid here, if at all possible.
He's actually going to slow it down a little bit. He did a fast roll at the first half, wasn't able to find much with it. He's going to take a little slower approach to this mid. We're going to see the soldier aggression from Ascent Descent. Laz is going to actually beef his jump a little bit. So we're going to see super passive positioning for both the soldiers on Ascent, just trying to get arrowed up. And with the Space Pirates having all the positioning, they're going to become mid. And a huge bomb out of Rakuso is going to find 2. You're going to find Skis, Yite, and Slemnish off the back of that dam. It's just Jay up for the side of Ascent, and Rakuso being the only one to go down for the Space Pirate.
And that was a great job out of the scouts from Space Pirates. They were able to deny the soldier of Ascent really well as they tried to play that Bell Terror area the way that they like to. You saw Space Pirates completely shut them down. They were able to get their picks quickly, and now they're going to have a full 80% ad to push in with.
Yep, so we are going to see the standard defense here, so it seems, for Ascent with the heavy and the engineer with the gun below the stairs and the heavies by the spawn door. Typical stickies on point, the usual suspects for Sunshine last. And on the side of Space Pirates, it looks like Chunky and Shamu are getting buffed up to try and go on this push. They're not quite in the lobby yet. Sky's rotating around to try and get in, buffing up the soldier spawns. So we're going to be waiting for all of their spawns in. Looks like they're going to take it in. Yep, the usual suspects of Shamu and Chunky are going to get in. They're going to find the gun early. Looking to try and play the point is Shamu, clearing some of the stickies, but there's bot mode with this band, denying him the angles on the point. Stickies are dead on the side of Ascent, so this is the opportunity for Space Pirates to try and bait out the cap. They get about half cap. They're going to trade Slemnish and Rakuso. Laz's going to go down. Jay's going to go down. Catface is going to get a pick on the bot mode, and the Space Pirates are going to take all the positioning on the point, get their second round. Or I'm sorry, their first round.
Yeah, you saw Ascent try to make that similar hold with the heavy on the left side that they were making in previous rounds. However, they had everybody over there, all 6 of them over there, and it just meant that it was 2 walls kind of facing off against each other. You didn't have anything that could distract Space Pirates. They were able to all shoot in one direction, and with only 1 scout, they weren't able to try and keep that point from being capped the way that they'd like to.
Yeah, so we're going to see another aggressive mid on the side of Ascent, and Rakuso actually rolled out his own cafe. He's going to get in onto skis and bot mode once again. Rakuso coming up huge on these mids for the Space Pirates. There's so much damage that Ascent, just with the sheer aggression, negating the heal advantage for the other team. It's going to be a 4v3. Cafes and Chunky need to get healthy to try and fight off these. It's just Catface and Sky trying to leave through their shutter. They're both so weak in Catface.
Wow.
And it's not going to be able to defend Sky. It's going to go down. Yite and Slumber's going to claim those frags. The raw aggression from Ascent paying off in the end, winning out the DM fight, even though they lost their medic as the first player on that mid.
Yeah, and that was a very winnable fight for Space Pirates. I just want to say that, everybody that was chasing after them were about within meat shot range there. I don't think that they should hit 104 meat shots every time, but, they were all within very killable range for Catface, but, they were a little focused on running, and that's okay too, but, you get stopped up at that shutter, and you saw Laz able to chase him down and finish it off. Or I think, was it Laz or Jay?
I believe it was Jay that got into the shutter, but it was the scouts that were to clean up on the damage. So we're going to see about a 25% advantage for the side of Skis, as he was the first one down. But yeah, we did see the Shamu spy, but he was bumped and found out. Rakuso's going to go down super weak, and back up here is actually going to go down. Tons of damage onto Laz, Jay, and Skis, but they're not really in a position to follow up at the rest of the Space Pirates. So it looks like Space Pirates are going to get relegated to the last. They're at about a 25% disadvantage still, but it doesn't look like Skis and Co are really in a position to go off it. They're going to gear up on bats, but Sky's already at about 90% here, so if they decide to go off it, it could be really good for the Space Pirates. And it looks like they're going to opt to just stalemate it out. We're going to see the double soldier spam trying to get the gun of Shamu, but it doesn't look like the soldier's going to be able to find it.
Chunky expertly jumping into those rockets to keep the sentry gun alive.
Get down, Mr. President. Chunky with the expert level body blocking. That's the invite gameplay you like to see. The double soldier spam's going to come in again for Ascent, but Shamu's just going to move the gun to a less spammable position. Actually, he's going to put it back below the stairs as soon as the soldiers stop peeking. And Laz is going to try and sack in off that, and it looks like Yite is going to try and get in as well. Yite's living for so long, he's going to run in behind the point. He's going to go down eventually. With the 2-man sack from the side of Ascent, we're going to see some aggression here from the Space Pirates, either looking for a counter sack. Shamu's on the same page as the rest of his team. He's going to be trying to run in from the dungeon area. So with the Uber trade out, Ski's going to have about a 40% advantage. They do have the Slumber Sniper, which makes these Uber advantage pushes harder to do. We're going to see the solar aggression from Haze is going to go down, but going to get a ton of damage on everybody on the side of Ascent in the choke point. Jay's going to go down. Laz is down to 4 HP. Botmo's down to about 30, so the second soldier's going to go down on the side of Space Pirates. They're going to trade it out, though, with Laz. 2 down on both teams. We might see... We should see Ascent try and push here off their Uber advantage. But they do have the Slumber Sniper. Slumber's just going down super weak. The scouts are going to get in through the valley side. I'm going to pick that one. So it's just bot mode, Yite, and Skis with his Uber. They were by Cafe, but they're going to go back. Yeah, I would say they're going to go back for the pick on Catface on mid.
Yeah, that's just giving them a free pick, as you see Jay coming from the cafe area, able to pick off Catface pretty easily. Space Pirates now trying to hold this with 1 player down, and we're going to see if they have any sort of plan here, maybe some aggressive soldier play.
Yeah, Sky's at about 90%. Laz is going to bomb in really aggressive into the shutter. Going to go down to a pipe from Chunky, but Botma's going to trade it out with Rakuso on the other side of things, so the roamer trade on both ends. Ascent has all the positioning here on 2 from what it looks like, but GK wants to push back in. They're going to go over the point. They're going to take an Uber exchange here. They're going to get the pick onto Jay, and with Skis and bot mode so weak and the player advantage, they're going to get some frags. They're going to lose Catface, but they're going to get bot mode and Slemish in return for it. So with 3 down on the side of Ascent, and with the respawn of Rakuso coming up here, they should be pushing back into mid. Hayes is going to make some space for his team, meeting up with Scotty Yite. Not going to hit that fadeaway rocket, and Yite's going to make it out through Cafe. Sky with about a 10% advantage here, but they're going to be capping up on mid.
Yeah, it looks like Ascent's going to try and get back in, maybe trigger another mid-fight to go out. Wow, they actually push in right as Rakuso launches his charge shot. That's going to take him out of the fight as he tries to reload, and it's immediately going to result in Space Pirates pushing backwards. Sky actually goes down to some aggressive plays out of bot mode.
Yeah, bot mode just walking forward with everything loaded there, able to catch the players in the choke point, and nobody else went down other than Sky, but the damage is done. Skis is going to have a huge advantage off the back of that. And Ascent should be trying to push into 2 here shortly, just off their heal advantage. See, Rakuso and Shenmue are trying to make a play in off on the flanks, but they're both going to go down unsuccessfully. And Hayes is going to go down, who just peeked up on the bats. So this is actually really bad for the Space Pirates, but originally could have been a last hold. It's actually going to turn into them being 3 down with full Uber Disad. See, Chunky with the trap kill on the Slumnish, so it might slow down Ascent a little bit, but they are just going to be opting to push in here.
Yeah, Catface did spawn on the Engineer, but that seems to be a choice that was maybe made a little too late. Engineer taking a little too much setup time, as we do see Hayes managing to pick off the ice, stopping the cap for a brief moment. However, being the only one on point, he is quickly cleaned up, and Ascent takes their 4th round.
Yeah, so it is 4-1 here. The Space Pirates are on their ropes, but they have shown a lot of sense of life. They've actually been winning a lot of the mids here, so I'm interested to see if they can maybe clean up their last pushes here off the back of these mid wins, and see if they can, you know, even up the score here a little bit. We're going to see Chunky a little bit faster to mid than bot mode once again. Laz again going for a little more passive of a mid, just going to be spamming, meeting up with the soldier buddy of Jay. Doesn't look like there's any crazy soldier aggression on the side of Space Pirates, and we're going to see the double soldier bomb from Ascent trying to go in.
Wow.
Laz and Slumnish are going to find the picks onto Sky and Rakuso. Botman skis are going to go down the other side of things, so we're going to see the scrappy DM fight. It's 2 scouts up versus the 2 soldiers and the scout on the side of Ascent. It's just Shenmue, and nobody's going to go down late in that fight for Ascent. Once again, Ascent doing a really good job of grouping up late into the fights and winning up the DM fights with just good focus fire.
I just want to highlight Ascent's beauty. It was absolutely gorgeous, Nick. That double soldier bomb coming, both of them going in opposite directions off of the bell tower, flying through the air with the greatest of ease, crossing in front of Sky, and managing to land the rockets to pick her off. It was fantastically executed.
Yep, so we are going to see Space Pirates re-aggressing into 2 here. Laz is going to go down to Rakuso. Rakuso is going to meet up with their heal. And we're going to see Jay go down as well. So both the soldiers dying for the side of Ascent. Skis has about a 10% advantage over Sky. Not really enough to really worry about, especially with 2 soldiers down. We're going to see the soldiers jumping in for the side of Space Pirates, just making the space, forcing Ascent out through the choke.
We do have a Kritzkrieg coming out.
Yes, we see the crits from Ascent here. They're going to be gearing up on the Valley side of things. They're going to be trying to go off bot mode. They're going to use it in. They're going to find Sky right away. And bot mode's going to get Chunky as well. So 2 down, but the aggression from Space Pirates is in. They're going to trade out 3 frag. It's a 2v3 here with Skis up, but Skis is kind of alone, not healing anybody. Going to finally meet up with Laz. And Laz and Yite are going to clean up the last 2 members of Space Pirates to eventually win out this fight. And Skis still on the crits. Oh, he's actually going to pick up the Medigun from Sky. So I don't know if they're going to notice this on the side of Space Pirates. Sky does have an unusual Medigun, so it's a little easier to spot than just your stock Medigun, but Skis has switched from the crits to the Uber, so we might see this come into play here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see Space Pirates get caught off guard with that. They're not going to have a huge advantage, only about 15% or so, as Space Pirates are doing a fantastic job of building it. We do have Shenmue on Sniper, looking to try and get an early pick, as we do have Slumnish rushing the Sniper, managing to get picked off. Ascent not able to find that pick there, as they're going to look to maybe re-push this at choke, actually. Jay being taken in about 90% on Ascent.
Yeah, so I think the Space Pirates don't know that Skis picked up the Medigun, because Skis wasn't up on his Uber, and they lost bot mode to a trap as soon as that push started, and then Slumnish went down trying to rush the Sniper Shenmue. So they were 2 down on the side of Ascent, and bot mode and Slumnish have been putting in an immense amount of work for Ascent. I'm surprised that Space Pirates, only being in about a 20% disad, didn't try and go sooner than they did. But they are just going to opt to let it stalemate with Ascent on mid. Slumnish is going to pick up the Sniper Rifle his own and try and challenge Shenmue here.
Excited to see some sniper duels coming off here. But it looks like both teams are going to stall out for a little bit. I'm not sure, just based off the way they're playing, I can neither confirm nor deny that Space Pirates knows that they picked up the Uber charge over the Kritzkrieg, but they may be able to guess, because they probably would have pushed in by now, as we do see Jay maybe getting a little overly aggressive in this Valley area, as Catface does go down to the Slumnish body shot. Hayes is dropped by Laz, and we have a real opportunity for Ascent here, as they manage to pick off Rakuso as well.
Yeah, and Sky's actually pinned behind the Sniper sight lane, with Slumnish having a lot of control from the Valley area. We're going to see the force out of Sky. They're going to try and make it out of the shutter, but Chunky's going to go down. It's just Shenmue and Sky. Shenmue actually ran back to spawn on the scout roll, and they're actually going to get chased all the way to last. Shenmue's going to go down to make sure Sky can make it out. Sky's going to meet up with the spawns of Hayes and Catface, but Ascent is so aggressive, and on the right side of last, they are ready to push already. They're leaving their Sniper to cap, and they're ready to try and go off this.
They are ready to try and go at this. Chunky is just coming up now, walking out the left side. Probably not the best idea for him. He's going to have to go out the right side and meet up with his team. However, Yite is already getting on point. He does go down to the rockets from Hayes as we see Slemnish getting a pick onto Chunky, sending him right back to the respawn off of that sniper class.
Yeah, but I think Ascent is actually missing the Slumnish scout presence with the Yite dying pretty late there, all things considered. It made it hard for them to win out that DM fight. Slumnish was able to get a consolation pick onto Chunky, but it doesn't really matter much. Catface is going to get in and get on Ski. Slumnish is actually going to find the body shot onto Shamu in all of that. Getting some railgun frags, but the damage is done. With Sky about 70%, should be about 95 by the time Skis actually spawns up. So basically a full Uber ad for the side of Space Pirate.
Yeah, and that was well played off of Shamu. I wasn't sure about watching both scouts rush in towards the combo of Ascent, but they managed to make it work, and that's what's important. So we're going to see them trying to find their way out here on this last point. Catface walking through Shutter and finding Laz there hiding on that battlements area. He's able to chase him out, but they're not able to convert the frag onto Laz, and that's huge, as they're going to have a little more difficulty pushing out now, as we do see Sky coming out finally. We see Hayes trying to make a little bit of space here as he pushes forward.
Oh, Laz gonna get another drop on the Sky. Oh, he's gonna find even more than that. Combining with a little bit of spam from Jay, they're actually gonna get the pick on the Catface, and Hayes is gonna go down too.
Rakuso's hiding.
Oh, and Rakuso's actually hiding in under the point. Yeah, we actually see Skis up on crits as well. Rakuso's not gonna find anything off that chunk. He's gonna get a pick onto bot mode with a trap in the shutter area, so that actually might defer the push a little bit. But it looks like they're going to try and go off this anyway. Skis and Co are pretty aggressive on this top right area. It looks like they're going to go maybe... They're gearing up with Laz. Slumnish is going to find a pick onto Shamu here. Peeking in on the left side from his perspective. He's going to get another body shot onto Catface. Catface down pretty weak, but he's just going to walk back to spawn. Ascent still has this crits advantage here. It looks like bot mode's going to be meeting up with them shortly. Sky's at about 50% on the defense here, so they're going to be hard-pressed to get this Uber before this crits come in.
Yeah, and we see there Rakuso peeking Slemnish on Sniper, trying to see what he can find. That was their only defense against Slemnish, peeking kind of freely, as they may want to try and change their plan if they want to keep him from getting these picks for free, as we do see them standing in spawn now, so that's probably the best way they could have gone about it. As Sky does come up on the Uber, and we're going to see what other plans Ascent has here to try and make it happen. Actually, we have Shamu coming up on Sniper, going to be dueling it out on this right side door as Jay takes him down immediately. I don't know if he got a headshot from Slemnish
yeah,
first.
Yeah, he got a
what.
headshot. Slumnish was able to find a headshot on him there, and Slumnish is going to find a second headshot onto Hayes, so a 2 down on the side of Space Pirates. They're going to hear the body shots rattling off. Or Chunky and Rakuso are both super weak. We're going to see the bombman from Laz going to trade it out, and we're going to see the force out of Sky with just Chunky and Sky left. All the crits picking off all the non-Ubered. Chunky's going to go down to the focus fire of Ascent. They're going to get some spawns up in Shamu and Hayes, but the damage is done, and it's going to be the game for Ascent.
Yeah, and Ascent played that really well. They used the crits. You know, Space Pirates did well to counter the Uber with that, but you know, they were able to get those picks early. They weren't pushing in with just the crits advantage, and there was really nothing that Space Pirates could do to stop them once everything faded.
Yeah, for sure, but I think this was a decent result for the Space Pirates, coming off the 5-0 from Ford. I think Ascent and Furrier are kind of their own caliber teams up at the top of Invite, so I think, you know, even getting around, I think, shows well for them. I think it shows that, you know, that they're not quite out of it.
I think that we've seen other teams in playoff contention putting up better performances against these top playoff teams, but I think that we saw them come alive a little bit at the end, Space Pirates, and I think that it kind of bodes well for what they could come up with later in the season.
Yeah, I think 5-1 doesn't quite tell the whole story here. I feel like there was a lot of the mids where Rakusa came up huge and was able to just instantly pick Skis in bot mode. I think there were about 3 mids where he was able to do that, and it's just unfortunate that off the back of that Space Pirates just either didn't win out the DM fight late in the mid, or they just weren't able to convert their pouches into last. Because I feel like Space Pirates definitely could have gotten more rounds if they had just cleaned up a couple little things here and there.
And speaking about telling the whole story, taking a quick look at the stats, we did see Slemnish and Yite leading the charge with 36 and 32 kills, respectively, whereas on Space Pirates, we saw Catface bringing 23 kills to the party, and Chunky following up with 22.
Yeah, and not to say anybody on any team had a poor performance, but looking at the numbers, it looks like the Soldiers struggled quite a bit on the side of Space Pirates. Rakuso down 15 and 30, and Hayes at 16 and 26. Again, they did lose 5-1, but I feel like if you take away like the mids from Rakusa, right, with how huge he was going on a lot of the mids, if you were to take that away, I feel like Rakusa really wasn't having that big of an impact on the game. And Hayes is doing a lot of like making a lot of space for his team. He did a lot of damage for his team. He's just up there with Chunky, about 200 damage behind him. But again, outside of that damage, like Hayes again is 16 for 26, so he's not producing the same amount of frags that somebody like Laz and Jay are doing, and they're not doing as good of a job as living. Like you see on the side of Ascent, like Laz had 26 deaths. He's tied with Hayes there, but Jay's doing a really good job of living at 18 and 19.
Yeah, I'll agree. It seemed like there was a little bit of a disconnect between the soldiers of Space Pirate. Like you said, Hayes was putting in a lot of work. He was making a lot of space. He was doing everything pretty well. And then there were times at the beginning and at the ends of battles that Rakusa maybe seemed a little lost.
Yeah, at least from what I've seen from playing against Space Pirates in scrims and then kind of seeing them play out here tonight, Space Pirates kind of throw their soldiers in really early in the fights, whereas I think Ascent kind of plays a little more carefully with their soldiers. Their soldiers are a lot more like position and spam oriented, whereas the Space Pirates are quick to throw their soldiers in just to make the space for their team. So I feel like there's quite a fair few amount of fights where Hayes and Rakusa were the first people to die, and then they were able to meet up with like the retreating Space Pirates and trying to put up resistance on another point, and then they were able, and then Ascent's really aggressive play caused them to die again. So there ended up being a lot of pushes for Ascent, and a lot of defenses for Space Pirates that ended up being 2 deaths for the soldiers, rather than just the 1 or none on the side of Ascent.
Yeah, I'll agree. And you saw Ascent managing those double bombs really well. Yeah, I mentioned them before. I kind of lost my mind a little bit over it, but you saw the soldiers just being a little more synchronized out of Ascent, and that was able to help them steer the fight in directions that they were a little more comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then looking at the medic stats here, Sky with 13 deaths and Skis with 12. So not that particularly amazing game from either. They both had a few amount of deaths, but they were both really close to each other. I think the telling thing though is that Skis had 21 assists, whereas Sky only had 10. I think Sky was playing a little more passively, whereas Skis was a little more comfortable to commit with Slummish and bot mode. And I'm wondering if that has to do with the poor stat line with Shamu, because Shamu is playing heals for this team, to my knowledge. So I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a disconnect between Sky and Shamu that's maybe causing them to not be able to follow up on the soldier bombs as much. Or if, Shamu's just maybe not playing close enough to heals, or if the soldiers aren't communicating that they're bombing enough, or what. But I feel like there definitely is either a disconnect between the soldiers and the combo, or between Shamu and Sky.
Yeah, I'll agree with all of that.
But yeah, we do see 11 Ubers for Skis and 13 for Sky. I feel like Sky had more Ubers because they tended to get forced a lot more, whereas Skis kind of held on to a fair few number of his Ubers, and they were able to take 2 or 3 points off of 1 Uber. Very Furyo-esque, where they kind of bait the fact that they have Uber to try and bait in a soldier sack or bait in some scout aggression, and then as soon as those players try and make a play on your medic, you just have your medic hold ass in a strafe key and just back up and bait them into the rest of your team.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Typically when you look at stats, you kind of associate more Ubers with a better performance, but I think you did a good job summing up a situation where, you could have fewer Ubers, meaning that one team did a little better, just meaning that they were able to, use these Ubers on their terms.
Yeah, so I think that's about all I'm going to get from the stats. I don't know if you have anything else to add from that, Bill.
No, I do not.
I think the only other telling thing I got is I just noticed is that the only person to hit the 5-digit damage this game was Slumnish at the big 10,000 damage. Chunky and Hayes were at about 9,500 respectively, but Slumnish is top damaging in the server, and especially with 36 for 14 as his KD, I think that the big decider in this game was just Slumnish over Shamu, at least in terms of stats.
Yeah, I'll agree there. He played really well. Both scouts from Ascent played really well. They managed their aggression well. They were able to find kills when it mattered, and they were able to clean up on fights really well for Ascent.
So yeah, I think that's about all I got. I don't know if you have any shout-outs you want to make, Bill?
Oh, man. Nope, not a one.
Not even to Mr. Zachary? Not even to Dad?
Oh, no. Dad's been... he took away my internet.
Oh, no. It's very sad. So I'm gonna make a quick shout out to my boys at Dunk Masters, making it big and invite this season, and shout out to Looster for doing all the stuff behind the scenes for TFTV. And I think that's about all we've got for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This has been our cast of Ascent versus Space Pirates. I've been FrickMyNick, joined by BILLDOZER, and I think we're out.
Y'all have a good night.